Hello ladies and gentlemen of YouTube, my name is Kanka the Great, coming at you with another YouTube-worthy video. Today we're playing Satellarknight, Yu-Gi-Oh! And I'm running two separate versions of the Satellarknights. I have replays for both, and a deck profile for both. The original Satellarknights I was running was the Pendulum version. Now, they have tons of Pendulum support, but there's only two Pendulum monsters, and if I had a scale, I had to use a Deneb to search another scale. If I had two scales, I had to use a Deneb to search an Altair, set my scales with no extra monsters, and it was just very inconsistent. And I can't Stellar Alpha, the Stellar Nova Alpha with my Pendulum monsters, so that kind of kills Alpha and makes it a dead card if I draw it with a scale. So I'm running the pure version now, which is pure Satellarknights, 12 Satellarknights, 8 spell cards, and about 18 traps. That's my preferred build for Satellarknights. So let's get right into it. I get my opening hand; it's pretty decent. I'm playing Satellarknight, still on my Deneb. Search for my scales. Set one card. He's playing Blue Eyes. He Twin Twisters me for one, which is a waste. He gets his Blue Eyes, attacks me. Then I just normal summon Vega, Altair to Deneb, and to Triver. Triver bounces all back to our field. Discard one card from his hand, Pendulum. And he bricks and just quits. That's the first of the replay versus Blue Eyes. Blue Eyes can brick like that sometimes. Here's another Blue Eyes player. Gets another Blue Eyes. Activate. Pop, pop. Search. Pendulum. Destroys Blue Eyes. Now I was running a Pendulum build of the Satellarknights, but I've been noticing I'm not as consistent as the pure build, so I have some replays of the pure build and some replays of the Pendulum build. The Pendulum build, you can brick a lot, especially if you only draw one of your scales and not a lot of monsters. Because Deneb, you're normally searching your Altair and your Vega first, and then getting your scales, so late game it doesn't really help. And if you don't have Luster with the Pendulum Draco sack, you really can't Pendulum summon that much. You only Pendulum one or two monsters, and that's normally not enough to summon Trigger. Now, what I normally would like to do is I run the pure build now with about 12 Satellarknights in it, with about 20 traps and about 8 spell cards. But I will be doing a deck profile, this deck profile, if you want to see it. I'll show it to you at the end of the video. But right now I just bounce everything with Triver, put all my trap cards back down. I recycled everything. I think in this game I recycle my trap cards about 3 times, because I looped with Triver 3 times and got everything back. Negate that. He's gonna attack over. I'm still gonna get Triver's effect. Get the net back. Add the Vega. And make Triver again. There's Triver. Bounce my stuff again. Recycle everything. Discard his card. Set my scales and pendulum. And that's game. See, with the power of Triver, you can reuse your spell and traps, their continuous traps, over and over again. Especially Oasis of the Dragon Souls, Call of the Haunted, and Fiendish Chain. This is when I was experimenting with my deck. I had 2 free cards to use willy-nilly. I tried using Quaking Mirror Force, I tried using Storming Mirror Force, I tried using Sandstorm Mirror Force. None of the Mirror Forces really worked for the kind of potential I wanted to. And he quit for whatever reason. He had no cards in hand. And I just swarmed the board. I was going to make Triver and bounce that back to his hand and attack him again. But I put Pot of Cupidity in here. Or, excuse me, Pot of Desires. That's the OCG. I also put in Swords of Concealing Light. I've been experimenting with Pot of Duality, Ring of Destruction, and Compulsory Evacuation Device. I normally don't like cards that target, just because they normally, there's lots of cards that say you can't target this card, or if this target is targeted, pop a scale and negate the activation, stuff like that. So he's playing Black Wings. And I can't remember if I win or lose this one. But I think I'm gonna make Voltalimus get rid of an ebb, search, set scales, pendulum, make Triver, bounce everything back to our hands. And at this point he's basically lost. He's gonna have to keep top decking. I saw him. And the reason I put back my Triver instead of the Belize is I needed exactly 1900 to kill him, and if I would have put back my Zerfaxaton, I wouldn't have had enough damage. The next highest is Uncle Eye, and he only has 1800, so that wouldn't have killed him. Standard opening play. Make Triver first turn. Discard a card. I blew up his face down just because I didn't know what it was. And there was only one, so I figured I'd use the effect. You can target this, you can target one other Satellarknight monster you control or a Zephyr card, pop them, and you can destroy one face down card with his effect. Same thing with Zephyr Thubin, but instead of popping a face down, it pops a face up. This is when I put in Swords of Concealing Light instead of the Pot of Desires. Because we run so low amounts of monsters, we only run about 12 monsters, that Pot of Desires really hurts the deck if you banish your monsters. Because you really need the recursion. Especially if you banish an Altair. Even if you banish one Altair, that might even mean game. Because that means you can't keep recycling from the graveyard. He compulses it back to my hand, but I still get the effect. Top deck the second to Ned. Going to Triver. Get rid of his mass change, which is really good. He activates Summoner Monk, gets a mass change anyways. Makes Dark Law. Oh, this is versus the mirror match, and this is my pure Satellarknight build. I went back to the pure Satellarknight build with 12 monsters, 8 spells, and 20 traps like the normal Satellarknights would normally run. I took out all the pendulums because the pendulums were very inconsistent, and all I would ever do with the pendulums is pendulum summon and make Triver and just bounce everything back anyways. So I figured running the pure build with more recursion, more consistency, and better top decks, I'd rather have that than having one scale or 2 scales with no monsters, or no monsters with 2 scales. They kept getting really inconsistent. And I trivered him this one time. I don't think he ever made Triver the whole time we were dueling. Honestly, what he should have did was he should have went into Vladimus, this guy right here, Satellarknight Vladimus, and overlay for Triver and bounce everything back to our hands and attack for 21. But instead he eats my monster and attacks for 21. And it's not as good of a play, but I understand why he did it. And this just sets me up for Triver next turn, just off of 1 card. I get a +2. Destroy everything, attack into it. And this is pretty much game, because he can't summon. And if you turn off a Satellarknight summon, even for this stuns him for 2 turns, because there's 5 attachments. Make Triver, and number 86 is unaffected by all effects, so he doesn't get bounced back to my hand and I attack for game. Another Blue Eyes player. He opened 2 Blue Eyes Chaos Max Dragons. And I was being sarcastic when I was dueling him. When he set 1 card, and I said Solemn ? And I was gonna make Triver, and he just surrendered because he would have had a dead hand, and I just would have kept attacking him. This is against the Naturias. I think I Trivered him 3 times in this game. I can say the pure Satellarknights can make Triver first turn, second turn, and it's very, very good. You make first turn Triver and you discard 1 card, they're already down 1 card. They draw their 1 card and they have 5. So it's basically like they went first. he was playing some Naturia variant with Endless Trap Hole and the other trap hole that negates the effect. I can't remember off the top of my head. But he puts it face down, I still get my effect. Instead of making Triver the original way by summoning him with all three, I just used two. Make Triver, bounce all his cards back to his hand. Now he just has a bunch of monsters in his hand. That's all. A bunch of level 2s, level 3s. You can't really combo out. He top decks Soul Charge. Makes Trish. Trish set me back a little bit, but I had a Vega and Altair, so I made Triver again. There's Triver. Now all I need to do is Triver him one more time, and I've got game. And he top decks the Winged Dragon of Ra Spear mode. But I think honestly, I think I either Trivered or I cowboyed for game. I can't remember exactly. I had the Soul Charge. I didn't want to use it because I wanted the battle phase, so I just set it like it was a trap. I was gonna cowboy him for game, but I just Regeki him. I top decked the Regeki and used that instead. That's the power of Triver. And that's all I have for you, folks. This is my deck profile. It's very standard Satellarknights. 3 Ankylai, 3 Altair, 3 Deneb, 3 Vega, 1 Raigeki, 1 Reinforcement of the Army, 1 Soul Charge, 1 Upstart Goblin, 2 Plotted Dualities. These can be substituted for MST's Pot of Desires, or the new Satellarknight Genesis card that's coming out that destroys spell and trap cards equal to the number of cards Satellarknight monsters you control. 3 Skybridge, just because if I really want the duality just to add more consistency to my hand, so it may come out because I can't special summon. But I run 3 Skybridge just because you want to see your Deneb or your Ankylai first turn. 2 Swords of Concealing Light, 1 Bottomless Trap Hole, 3 Oasis of Dragon Soul, 3 Fiendish Chain, 3 Call of the Haunted, 3 Solemn Strike, 3 Sacred, 3 Stellanova Alpha, and 1 Warning. For the extra deck, I want 1 Diamond, 3 Trevere, 1 Deltaros, and the new Tellarknight Valdemus that's coming out in Invasion of Vengeance. I already pre-ordered my box, so I hope I pull at least 2 of these. The Utopia kit, Utopia Ray, and Utopia the Lightning, that's for obvious reasons. 1 Diamond Direwolf, this may come out for a Castell. 1 Bujin Tsukiyomi, 1 Gagaga Cowboy, 1 number 86, which is really good in the mirror match. If you make number 86 and you just blow out your opponent, they can't really do anything. Dark Rebellion Exceed Dragon, this is just to get over those problem cards that have high attack. And that's it for my deck profile. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for watching. My name's been Kanka the Great. Hopefully I've provided you another YouTube-worthy video. Thank you very much yet again. Thank you for all my fans that follow me on Facebook. Please like, favorite, and subscribe for more content.